first situation of seatbelt choking arm up, or choking arm down. Now we're going to go to the next situation of seatbelt choking arm up. So I'm here, I'm in the seatbelt, and the choking arm is up, and let's say, for example, I might have this hand or something. Now the situation is actually a bit different, okay? Now my control is much better. If he tries to turn with his back to the mat now, I can control this a lot more easily because this controls this shoulder from going that way, okay? If I have this, or even if I just have a seatbelt, try it. Okay, this blocks that shoulder from going away from me, okay? So that's going to make things easier. The problem is the choke is a little bit harder now, okay? I can, first of all, it's easier for him to fight this hand now because this hand has more freedom. And even if he's not, let's say I get here, if I still need my other hand and he's laying on top of it right now. Even if he doesn't grab it, it's just, I have to get my arm out from under him, okay? So that's kind of the disadvantage here. The choke is harder, but the control is better, okay? So, now the situation of what we do when we're in that position. The same concept applies, okay? I want to bring my, let's move up a bit because we're about to fall off camera. I want to bring my shoulders out of alignment. And remember, with this underhook in the seatbelt, this direction is hard, but this direction is easy, so we're going to use that. So I come here, so what I'm going to do, even if he grabs a hand, this grip is actually fairly easy to break if you just straighten your hand, or straighten your arm. And from here, what I want to do is bring my elbow to the ground. I'm going to scissor my legs and build height and try to turn as far belly down as I can, like this. Try to choke me. But I can go to back punch. Going a step further. I'm trying to just focus on the, okay, I'm just trying to focus on the back. So, I come here, and you want weight on that leg. Okay, try to choke me.
Yeah, not close enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. My shoulders are on my throat. My shoulders are on the line again. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you try to pull me back, go ahead and try it. Yeah. And since I'm not focused, now I'm focusing on the whole position, try to come up on the back. Because you're laying on that leg. You can pin the leg a bit. And he needs to take, if he tries to come up on the back, the problem is, yeah, exactly. I'm lying on the leg and pinning this. So he's going to have to retract this leg to come up. And I can use that to go back to my original. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have to give up a bit of control to regain that position. Okay? So come here. Again, keep that choking arm control for now. On your elbow, scissor your legs, bring weight on that leg, and go belly down. This is our first kind of position. And again, notice my left shoulder is now on his right shoulder. That's the shoulder misalignment I was talking about earlier. So now the shoulders are aligned, the choke is gone. And again, a Craig Jones, keep your seatbelt. So again, a Craig Jones term, we're going to do something he calls the Superman escape. I'm sure everyone's seen like a Superman cartoon or something where you see him flying. We're going to do this exact movement. I'm going to go up with my shoulders and arms forward. I'm going to straighten my body and turn in. And from here, I can come out. So it's doing it without a partner. It's literally like this. I'm here, control, coming here, and again, you really want to put weight on that leg, okay? So that if he gets up, he has to compromise his control. And from here, we're doing a Superman, and that's going to shrug the arms off and get a lot of space here, and then you can use that to come back up and do like a passive position, okay? so showing it one more time. So, we're coming here. And again, weight on that leg. Yeah, yeah. This is going to make it hard for him to come up.
I have to leave my seatbelt.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me show the whole thing. Okay, so coming in, elbow in, and notice also I'm shoving kind of against him with my elbow. That's giving me an additional sort of frame. And from here, Superman. And I'm essentially slipping the elbow, slipping the shoulder with the Superman like what we're doing on the other side. Okay? So let's work on that one. It looks a bit tricky at first, but once you do it 2-3 times, it actually makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to go into, actually let's switch just to kind of give the general situation. So we were going over what happened, how you can escape when the choking arm is on the ground. Okay, so now we're going to do it the exact other way around. Okay, so now and this is where your opponent is most likely going to be the more active of the two of you now. Because for me, the guy on top or on the back, I don't want him going over this way. Okay. So if I can avoid it, I want to keep this arm in the air, which means in this situation, I have most likely proactively pulled him to the side. Okay. So most likely I'm the one who's being more active here, and I'm most likely going to get a Dagesani handcuff here as well. Okay. So that's kind of the general situation here, is that the guy got on your back, and he's most likely a little bit better this time as well. So he's probably a bit more active. He knows the shoulder slip escape, so he's trying to actively keep you from doing the shoulder slip escape to make your escape harder. That's so. And here's where we get back to what his advantages and disadvantages are. So, yeah, so if he pulls me here, his disadvantage, and this time I've had my tea for the morning so I can say it correctly, is that it is harder to choke me because I have control of this arm. For the rear naked choke, you need to be able to get this arm behind my head. Yeah, exactly. And I can just do this, and that arm's trapped. That's not going anywhere. He's not getting a rear naked choke. That's not to say he can't choke me at all. There are other chokes he can do a one-arm rear naked choke, but these are all harder chokes to get. Okay, that's the point, is the choke is not impossible, but it's very, very hard. Okay, but what his strength is, and this is why he normally actively wants to go to this side, is he has better control of my rotation, and I can't shoulder slip anymore, not on this side, because he's got this underhook here, and that's going to keep my shoulder on his shoulder, and as you can see, it's keeping me in alignment. Okay, that's what he wants most of all. That's what he needs the most when he's trying to choke me, is he needs my shoulders in alignment. Okay, so here's where I need a different escape. This is something that's going to look a bit counterintuitive at first. Trust me, it does work. Okay, so because what we're going to do this time is we're essentially going to do the shoulder slip in the other direction. And to do that, I need to scissor my legs, and I'm going to get up on this elbow, and I'm going to build height. Like this, okay? So now I've got my shoulder in between us again. Try choking.
Again, no choke.
Yeah. Again, this is not a pleasant position, but this is killing the choke. Again, really key is when you build height is two things. One, you need to get that shoulder in between the two of you. Again, that's what's killing the choke. If I build height like this, yeah, he can still choke. Actually do it, because I've made this, if I do it like this without my shoulder between us, I've made his choke easier, because now he can slip this, and he can go directly to a rear naked choke. Okay? So really important is I slip that choke between us. Let's move a bit so that we're in camera. So when we're doing this, so one, go ahead. Yeah. So as I slip this shoulder between us, and I've got my elbow kind of in deep here. Okay, this is keeping me out of danger of the choke. And this is hard to see, is I want my weight on this leg. Okay, I want as much weight on this leg, because now if he tries to climb on my back, I've got his leg pinned. And actually, you can probably see, as he tries, he's actually losing his control, and I get out more easy. Okay? So that's what's going to keep him from just jumping on your back when you're doing this escape. Okay? You've got to keep as much of your weight on that bottom leg as you can. That's pinning him to the ground. You look like you have a question.
No, that's just a lot of information.
Yeah, we're going to spend a lot of time on this. So.
Cool.
So again, we're coming here, he actively takes me to the side. Okay, so again, wrist control. Scissor the legs, and also you don't get your hand, this is gonna make it easier to control me. Look up, you should be able to see the ceiling when you're doing this. And now again, my shoulders are out of alignment. This shoulder is on his opposite shoulder now, and this is keeping me from getting choked. Okay, and from here, to complete, it's going to be really hard to come up in the half guard, but I can just slip this arm and come up at the very least like this. Okay?
Okay.
So, let's work on this one a bit, and then I think we'll start with some sparring.
Okay.
Okay? I want to go to a couple of details about this belly down position, just because it's an unorthodox position. And I think there's kind of always a couple of things you think are going wrong, which is actually a sign that everything's probably fine. So, remember me. No. So, anyway, like I said, we've got our general position. So, I just want to make sure we get everything I can. Okay, so first, just a couple of points with how to get into position. If you're trying to bring your elbow in like this, downwards, that's going to be kind of cramped because his arms are in the way. I just feel personally it's easier if I take my arm up, scissor my legs, and come over like this. Okay, and I'm actually kind of close to his hips, and I've got my entire stomach on his leg right now. So we were practicing this a second ago. I think it's always good to just have the guy try to get up. Yeah, or try to choke you. Yeah. So it's a non-orthodox position, but I'm actually pretty safe. So, and something you're going to notice, and this is what I want to do as a kind of exercise just to get used to this position a bit more, is we were doing it where we just practiced the guy choking us or trying to get up. What we're going to do now is let the guy force a way to stand up so that he can try to gain height, get back on our backs. So go ahead and try it. Yeah, you might need to see that. You can just literally turtle up, and his attempt to get up is actually going to pull him into a closed guard position like this. Okay? The only thing I really need to do is as I get up, I retract this arm under the seatbelt arm when I do it. So when he tries to get up, I just slide this arm in here, and I wind up in close guard. Okay? This is not the official escape, but this is sort of like this is what you do when your opponent does something stupid, basically. So, not to say you're stupid, but the idea is that most of the ways your opponent is going to try and gain height is going to compromise his own position. So that's the sort of thing, the minute you feel that impulse from him to come up, go ahead. So like, if I'm in the position, give me some space. So if I'm in this position and I feel him start to come up, the thing is gravity is working against him because gravity is always going to be pulling him that way. He has to work against gravity to get up, and he has to be working against my frames. So all I have to do is basically bring my knees and elbows together and slip this arm in, and he's going to fall into close guard, which is better than having him on your back. Okay? So I just want to practice that sort of what happens when your opponent does something that, if he's less experienced, might happen, just to get used to that impulse. And then we're going to go to what if the opponent is just trying to hold on. It's the last 30 seconds of a match, and he's desperately trying to just not lose the back and not concede any points. And then we're going to go to something that's called the Superman escape. So, okay? So just practice this reflex once, well not once, but we'll practice this reflex a bit, then we'll go to the actual escape.